All right, so for lesson 8 today, we're just going to talk quickly about another way you can find tangent. All right, we know from SOHCAHTOA that tangent can be found by getting your opposite and putting it over your adjacent. And that's all true. But there's another way you can find tangent, which is going to be helpful to us, especially on the unit circle, which I'm going to show you here in a couple minutes. Now, if you just look at this 30, 60, 90 triangle that I have drawn here, we know that if, for example, I wanted to find the tangent of 60, I could put in my sides. My sides on my 30, 60, 90 are 1, 2, and radical 3. The tangent of 60 would be opposite over adjacent, radical 3 over 1. All right, now I could do the tangent of 60 on my calculator. The problem with that is it's not going to give me the exact value, and we've been talking about exact value and how that means no decimals, no calculators. But to show you how this works, I'm going to use the calculator real quick. So if you're trying to follow along with me, take your calculator, make sure your mode is set to degree or you're not going to get the same results that I am here. All right, so on my calculator, if I type in the tangent of 60, I get that answer right there, which is actually the square root of 3 over 1. It's the same number. It's just in decimal form, and it's cut off, so you can't use that answer if you're talking exact value. So now what I can do here, let me show you another way you can find tangent. Instead of doing opposite over adjacent, tangent is actually equivalent to sine divided by cosine. So if I wanted to find the tangent of 60, I could take the sine of 60 and divide it by the cosine of 60, and it will give me the same result. So let me show you that on the calculator real quick. If I take my calculator and I do the sine of 60, close the parenthesis, divided by the cosine of 60, close the parenthesis, and hit enter, I get the same result. All right, so that's verifying that tangent can be found by doing sine over cosine. All right, so now how does that help us? It helps us tremendously when it comes to the unit circle. So let's go back to the unit circle. Let me draw that real quick so we have it. Remember, the unit circle is a circle centered at the origin. Its radius is 1. So these coordinates right here for 90, 180, try that again. 0, 90, 180, 270, and this is also 360 if we want to call it that. So my coordinates are 1, 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, and 0, negative 1. All right, so remember, we learned that on the unit circle, your x value is your cosine and your y is your sine. So x is cosine, y is sine. So just as a quick reminder, if I wanted to find the cosine of 90, I'd go up to 90 degrees, which is right here, and I'd use the x value because cosine is x, which would give me 0. All right, so now what we're going to do is talk about how we work with tangent on this unit circle to get these answers. So now that we know that tangent is sine over cosine, we can find the tangent of 0 degrees, the tangent of 90, the tangent of 180, and the tangent of 270, all without a calculator. So let me do all of these and show you what we get by using the concept that tangent is sine over cosine. All right, so let's take a look here. Let's take the first one, the tangent of 0. If I go over to 0 degrees and I do sine over cosine, sine is the y value, which is 0. Cosine is the x value, which is 1. 0 divided by 1 is 0. So the tangent of 0 is 0. I'm going to do 180 next. I'm going to do these two last because they got a little trick to them. So the tangent of 180, once again, tangent is sine over cosine. So if I take the sine of 180, which is 0, put it over the cosine of 180, which is negative 1, 0 divided by negative 1 is also 0. So the tangent of 180 is 0 along with the tangent of 0, both because 0 divided by anything is 0. So now let's watch what happens when I try to do the tangent of 90 and 270. It gets a little trickier here. When I try to do the tangent of 90, tangent is sine over cosine. So my sine value is 1, my cosine is 0. Hopefully you can see a problem here. We talked about this in chapter 7a. We cannot divide by 0 in math. It doesn't work. It creates a bad situation where our denominator is undefined, or our fraction is undefined. So when we go to calculate the tangent of 90, we actually can't do it. And we just say that the answer is undefined. And you can write out the word undefined, or you can just write UND. I'm okay with you abbreviating that for undefined. The same exact thing is going to happen at 270. When I go to 270 and I do the sine, which is -1, put it over the cosine, which is 0. I'm also trying to divide a fraction. Having a 0 in the denominator, it's not going to work. So that one is also going to be undefined. So the tangent of 90 and the tangent of 270 do not exist. All right. If you even try to do it on your calculator, if you try to type in the tangent of 90, your calculator will tell you this. Right? So it knows that that's a problem as well. All right. So tangent of 90, tangent of 270 are undefined. So today's homework is going to be going back to the unit circle. And I'm going to ask you to fill in the sine, the cosine, and tangent of all the angles on the unit circle. Get you more practice with sine and cosine, but also reminds you how to use this new tangent that we just talked about. All right?